All right, folks, good morning. All right, let's get started. So, for today, Tuesday, July 2nd, we have the following. At 9:30 a.m. Eastern, we'll have Fed Chairman Powell speaking, which is very unusual to have the FOMC chair speaking right at market open. So, that means today's market open is going to be extremely dangerous to trade. So we might not be able to effectively trade in the early parts of the day, which basically is the only time of day that is usually good. So just keep that in mind that this is going to be a rough day, most likely to trade. At 10 a.m., we'll have JOLTS job openings, which is also a major report. So that will be occurring at probably the same time where Chairman Powell will be speaking. I don't know how long Powell will be speaking. Um, but it says here is due to participate in a panel discussion titled "Policy Panel" at the ECB Forum on Central Banking. So we'll see. Um, RCM TIPP economic optimism, no specific time, and it's not a major report, so we're not expecting much from that. Ward's total vehicle sales all day, not expecting much from that. So basically, at market open and probably for an hour or at least a half an hour after that, we're going to see lots of things that would make trading less desirable. All right, so having said that, the NASDAQ ETF, the QQQ, is currently trading a lot lower than yesterday's close, at least relatively speaking, it's a lot lower. Yesterday's close is a dotted red line. We're down here, and yesterday's action was technically bullish. We opened here and closed up there, but I don't think anyone in their right mind would consider this a bullish day. It was very choppy, mostly neutral, but um, slight inclination in the positive direction. All right. Um, Having said that, let's take a look at which stocks were moving on Monday. So first off, we have NVIDIA. Now that was able to reach target number one to the downside of 120.96. It traded down to a low of 118.83, which was shy of its negative T2 of 118.44. But we were looking for exploits to exploiting the bearish direction, and that was an excellent, generally a good opportunity. Mara was bullish. It was able to reach target number two to the upside of 2187. Um, there was only a very brief opportunity that might have qualified for Mara, but it was in the context of a sideways market. So therefore, although this one reached T2, it was not a very exploitable opportunity, and therefore, basically, there was nothing we could do with it. Apple was bullish, was able to eventually reach target number two to the upside of 216.15. But again, the trading action was very choppy, difficult to trade. So for the most part, this was not very exploitable. There was a brief moment where we could get a little bit out of that trade, but that was about it. So not even though it hit T2, it wasn't a good opportunity. Um, Similarly, Meta was bearish but unable to really make a good move from negative T1 to negative T2, which was what we were looking for. It did go over half of the way to negative T2, but um, not really a good trade setup there that we could exploit. So again, not much there. What was really good was Tesla. This one was straightforward. It was able to reach target number two to the upside of 209.75 and then top out at 213.23 after that. PayPal was bearish, and we were able to exploit that to the downside. It was able to easily pass target number one to the downside, which was where we looked to get in, looking for a move to negative T2. But Stock never reached negative T2. It hit some significant support that we were able to see on Bookmap, bottomed out at 57.03 and then turned around. But again, that was definitely an exploitable move down. ARM was near perfect. This one went straight to target number 2 to the downside of 154.05 and then bottomed out at 152.55. AMD, sorry, AMD was also nearly perfect. Went down to target number 2 to the downside of 155.56 and then bottomed out at 153.64. And then we have Rivian, which was able to reach target number 2 to the upside of 1438, and then it topped out after the fact at 1451, but that was a good move for us to get to T2. And then lastly, we have DKNG, which was bearish, able to reach target number 2 to the downside of 36.46 and a low of 36.43. Very exploitable move. All right, so looking at the pre-market, here's what we have so far. Not a lot, but at least not a lot that I see. IFBD is presently up 6.42% on 2.1 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. So we will add that to our watch list for stocks. Again, the symbol is IFBD. And next up we have, for 1 second. Next up we have RDZN, RDZ as in zebra N. That is currently up 42.5% on 5.8 million shares and trading at about 230 a share. So that qualifies for our pre-market watch list. We'll add RDZN to our pre-market watch list as well. And I do see 2 other stocks, but they don't meet the percent change criteria. So if you folks see any other stocks besides these 2 that we just mentioned, please let me know in the chat. We'll go ahead and take a look. VS, okay. VS is currently up about 66% on about 20 million shares and above $1 per share. Yep, so that definitely qualifies to be added to the list. VS, as in Sam. GMM, that does qualify as well, up 30% plus on 7 million shares, and it's now above $1 per share, so that will be added as well. GMM, and then also, VLCN, which is presently up about 32%, 1.1 million shares, and it's at least $1 per share. Excellent. So we will add that VLCN to our pre-market watch list as well. All right, so we just added another 3 stocks to our list. So if you guys see any other stocks besides the ones already mentioned that meet all 4 criteria, NASDAQ listed stock that's at least $1 per share in this pre-market sessions trading, has achieved at least 1 million shares of pre-market volume and at least a 6% price change, which can be positive or negative for this pre-market session. So if we see any other stocks besides the 5 we found, please let us know in the chat, and then we'll take a look. Tesla, yeah, I see that now. Just saw that. Just saw it picked up here, so let's take a look. Is there some relationship? I get it. Okay, I thought there might be some relationship between two of these stocks, but I guess not. All right, Tesla presently is only at 0.63%. This definitely does not qualify in terms of percent movement, but worth noting that this stock is clearly moving off of some news. I'm looking at the headlines. Nothing specific I see yet, but it'll come up eventually what's going on. Something to do with deliveries, I'm assuming, but we'll see. So this is jumping, I believe, based on some delivery news, but we'll find out. All right, folks, we'll wrap up for today. Please be sure to like the video. I see we have 7 likes, but more than 7 people watching. Please be sure to hit the like button, folks. It greatly helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you get notifications. Also, if anyone's watching this video on a replay and you're not familiar with our company, check out fundertrading.com, our website. There's a link in the description of this video. Other than that, for everyone else, I'll see you in the coaching room in about 25 minutes. Have a great trading session, and I'll see you guys for tomorrow's Premarket Pulse. Take care.